Enter Banquo and Fleance with a torch.
How's the night going, boy?
The moon is down. I haven't heard the clock strike.
And the moon sets at 12, right?
I think it's later, sir.
Here, take my sword.
He gives his sword to Fleance.
Heaven is being thrifty tonight. Their candles are all out. Take this too. I'm feeling a heavy drowsiness, like lead, but I don't want to sleep. Merciful powers, hold back the cursed thoughts that creep in while we rest.
Enter Macbeth and a servant with a torch.
Give me my sword. Who is there?
A friend.
What, sir? You're not in bed yet? The king's gone to bed. He was in an unusually good mood and sent generous gifts to your servants. He sends his diamonds to your wife, calling her the kindest hostess, and went to bed contented.
We weren't prepared for him, so our will became a servant to our shortcomings, which should have been free.
All's well. I dreamed last night of 3 weird sisters. They've shown you some truth.
I don't think about them. But when we have an hour to spare, we should talk about that business, if you have time.
Whenever it suits you.
If you stick with me when the time comes, it'll bring you honor.
As long as I lose none in seeking to gain it, and I keep my heart free and my allegiance clear, I'll listen.
Rest well.
Thanks, sir. The same to you.
Banquo and Fleance exit.
Go tell your mistress to ring the bell when my drink is ready, then go to bed.
Servant exits.
Is this a dagger I see before me? The handle pointing toward my hand. Come, let me grab you. I can't touch you, yet I see you still. Are you not fatal vision as real to the touch as to the sight? Or are you just a dagger of the mind, a false creation from a fevered brain? I see you still, as real as this one I draw now. You're leading me where I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. My eyes are either deceiving all my other senses, or they're better than the rest. I still see you, and on your blade and handle, drops of blood. They weren't there before. There's no such thing. It's this bloody business that's showing itself to my eyes. Now over half the world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, roused by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howl is his watch, moves stealthily like a ghost, with strides like Tarquin towards his target. Firm and solid earth, don't hear my steps, for fear that the very stones will reveal where I am and take away the horror of the moment that suits it so well. While I threaten, he lives. Words cool the heat of deeds. I go now, and it's done. The bell invites me. Shh. Don't hear it, Duncan, for it's a knell that summons you to heaven or hell.
He exits.
Act 2, Scene 2. Enter Lady Macbeth.
What made them drunk has made me bold. What quenched them has given me fire. Hark! Quiet. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman giving the sternest good night. He's doing it. The doors are open, and the overfed grooms are mocking their duty with snores. I've drugged their drink so that death and nature are now fighting over whether they live or die.
Who's there? What?
I'm afraid they've woken up and it's not done. The attempt, not the deed, will ruin us. Hark! I laid their daggers ready, he couldn't miss them. If he hadn't resembled my father as he slept, I would have done it myself.
Enter Macbeth.
My husband?
I've done the deed. Didn't you hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Didn't you speak?
When?
Now.
As I came down?
Yes.
Shh, listen. Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
Someone laughed in his sleep and someone cried, "Murder!" And they woke each other. I stood and listened to them. But they said their prayers and went back to sleep.
2 people are sleeping together.
One cried, "God bless us," and the other, "Amen," as if they had seen me with these bloody hands. Listening to their fear, I couldn't say Amen when they said, "God bless us."
Don't think about it so deeply.
But why couldn't I say Amen? I needed a blessing the most, and Amen stuck in my throat.
If we think about these things too much, it will drive us mad.
I thought I heard a voice cry, "Sleep. Macbeth is murdering sleep." Innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the tangled threads of care, the death of each day's life, labour's soothing bath, balm for hurt minds, nature's second course, the chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, "Sleep," to the whole house. Suspended sleep. Godot shall sleep. Shall sleep.
Who said that? Why, my worthy Thane, you're weakening your noble strength by thinking this way. Go, get some water and wash this filthy evidence from your hands. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must stay there. Go, take them back and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
No, I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think about what I've done. I can't bear to look at it again.
Coward. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are just like pictures. It's only children who fear a painted devil. If Duncan bleeds, I'll smear the grooms' faces with his blood, for it must seem like their guilt.
She exits with the daggers. Knock within.
Where's that knocking coming from? What's wrong with me? That every noise terrifies me. What hands are these? They're plucking out my eyes. Will all of Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, my hand will instead turn the green seas red.
Enter Lady Macbeth.
My hands are the same colour as yours, but I'd be ashamed to have a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entrance. Let's go to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Your resolve has deserted you. Listen, more knocking. Put on your nightgown in case we're called and seen as awake. Don't lose yourself in such poor thoughts.
To know my deed, it's best not to know myself. Wake Duncan with your knocking. I wish you could.
They exit.
Knocking within. Enter a porter.
There's some serious knocking going on. If a man were the porter of Hell's Gate, he'd have a busy job turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there, in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer who hanged himself because he expected too much. Come on in, and make sure you have plenty of handkerchiefs. You'll sweat for it here. Knock, knock. Who's there, in the other devil's name? Here's an equivocator who could swear on both sides of an argument, who committed treason for God's sake, yet couldn't equivocate to heaven. Come in, equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there? An English tailor come here for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you can roast your goose. Knock, knock. Never a moment's peace. What are you? But this place is too cold for hell. I'll be the devil's porter no more. I had thought to let in some of every profession that goes down the primrose path to the everlasting bonfire. Coming, coming.
The porter opens the door to Macduff and Lennox.
Please remember the porter.
Were you up so late, friend, that you lie in so late?
Indeed, sir. We were drinking until the second cock crowed. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep and urine. Lechery, sir, it provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, much drink can be called an equivocator with lechery. It sets him up, and it takes him down. It persuades him and disheartens him, makes him stand to and not stand to. In conclusion, it equivocates him into a sleep, and, Giving him the lie leaves him.
I believe drink gave you the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat of me, but I got my revenge on it, for although it knocked me down sometimes, I managed to throw it off.
Is your master stirring?
Enter Macbeth. Porter exits.
Good morning, noble sir.
Good morning, both. Is the king awake, worthy Thane? Not yet. He commanded me to wake him early. I'm almost late. I'll take you to him. I know this is a joyful trouble for you, but still, it is a burden. The work we enjoy cures the pain. This is the door. I'll be bold and call him, for that's my assigned duty.
Macduff exits.
Is the king leaving today?
Yes, he planned to.
The night was chaotic. Where we slept, chimneys were blown down. And as they say, there were lamentations heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophecies of dire events newly born to this woeful time. The obscure bird clamoured all night long. Some say the earth was feverish and shook.
It was a rough night.
I can't remember anything like it in my young life.
Ah, horror! 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 Neither tongue nor heart can describe or comprehend it.
What's the matter?
Confusion has now made its masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder has broken open the Lord's anointed temple and stolen the life out of it. What are you saying? The life?
Do you mean His Majesty?
Go to the chamber and see for yourselves. It's like looking at a new Gorgon. Don't ask me to describe it. See, and then speak for yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder! Treason! Banquo! Donalbain! Malcolm! Wake up! Shake off this downy sleep, death's imitation, and look at death itself. Get up! Get up and see the great doom's image. Malcolm, Banquo, rise from your graves and walk like spirits to witness this horror. Ring the bell.
Bell rings. Enter Lady Macbeth.
What's happening that such a hideous alarm is calling the sleepers of the house to a meeting? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, it's not for you to hear what I have to say. The news would kill you to hear it. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Woe, alas! What, in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Macduff, I pray you, say it isn't so.
Enter Macbeth, Lennox, and Ross.
If I had died an hour before this event, I would have lived a blessed life. From this moment, there's nothing serious in life. Everything is just a joke. Honour and grace are dead. The wine of life is drained, and only the dregs remain.
Enter Malcolm and Donalbain.
What's wrong?
You are, and you don't even know it. The spring, the source of your bloodline, is stopped. The very fountain of it cut off. Your royal father's been murdered.
Oh, by whom?
It seems those in his chamber did it. Their hands and faces were covered in blood. So were their daggers, which we found unwiped on their pillows. They stared confused. No one could trust their lives with them.
Ah, I regret my fury that made me kill them. Why did you do that? Who can be wise, amazed, calm, furious, loyal, and neutral all at once? No one. My violent love for Duncan overwhelmed my reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, his gaping wounds like breaches in nature where ruin entered. There the murderers, drenched in their own trade's colours, their daggers ungracefully gory. Who could refrain from acting with love and courage?
Help me hence, ho!
Look to the lady.
All exit except Malcolm and Donalbain.
What will you do? Let not stay with them. To show false sorrow is easy for a hypocrite. I'm going to England.
I'll go to Ireland. Separating our fortunes will keep us both safe. Where we are, there are daggers in men's smiles. The closer we are in blood, the closer we are to danger.
This murderous shot hasn't landed yet, and our safest course is to avoid its aim. So let's ride quickly and not worry about saying goodbye. It's justified to steal away when there's no mercy left.
They exit. Enter Ross with an old man.
I can remember 70 years, and within that time I've seen dreadful hours and strange things. This night's horrors surpass them all.
Ah, good father, you see how the heavens, troubled by man's actions, threaten the bloody stage of the world. By the clock it's day, and yet dark night strangles the travelling lamp. Is it because the night is overpowering the day? Or is it that the day is ashamed, so the earth is covered in darkness, when it should be full of light?
It's unnatural, like the deed that's been done. Last Tuesday, a falcon, soaring high in its pride of place, was hunted and killed by an owl.
And Duncan's horses, beautiful and swift, the best of their breed, turned wild and broke free from their stalls, fighting against obedience, as if they wanted to wage war against mankind.
It's said they ate each other.
They did, to my amazement, as I witnessed it.
Enter Macduff.
Why? Can't you see?
Do we know who did this terrible deed?
Those that Macbeth has killed.
Alas, what could have motivated them?
They were bribed. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, have fled, which casts suspicion on them.
Against nature. Ambition so desperate that it devours its own life support. So it seems likely the throne will fall to Macbeth.
He's already been named and has gone to Scone to be crowned.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred resting place of his ancestors and the guardian of their bones.
Will you go to Scone?
No, cousin. I'm going to Fife.
Well, I'll go to Scone.
I hope you see things done well there. Farewell, and may our old robes fit better than our new ones.
May God's blessings go with you and with all those who would turn bad into good and make friends out of enemies.
Farewell, father.
They all exit.